Hello everyone, this is the pre-market report video for today 7th March 2024 for the Indian stock market in terms of Nifty and Bank Nifty. In the last video, we discussed this as a second company on Tuesday. RBI barred the JM Financials from financing the shares and debentures. This heavily dragged down the small cap stocks. At one point of time, small cap index was down by over 4%, but in the end, it recovered 2%. You might think how JM Financials impact the small cap index. Like how day before yesterday, IIFL negativity did affected the Bajaj Finance twins. Similarly, JM Financials negativity impacted all the small cap financial stocks. And small financial services company in the small cap index accounts for 30%. Because of this sector high weightage, along with the last week Association of Mutual Fund warning increased the negative sentiment, which heavily impacted the small cap index. So this is the story of small cap. Then coming to large cap. Yesterday, though the Tuesday night US market negative close, but earlier morning the global momentum was not that bad and it was evident in Asian market trading as most traded around flat. In addition, because of this rupee bond inclusion in Bloomberg Emerging Index announcement, from the morning itself, banks were really positive. Since various analysts predicted various range that this inclusion will bring money anywhere between 50,000 crore rupees to all the way up to 3 lakh crore rupees into the Indian market through the Indian banks. Then you might ask who dragged down the Nifty in the first half. If required, please pause and have a look. The answer is IT stocks and Reliance. However, in the second half, both of them turned positive, and with the bank's positiveness, Nifty reached the new all-time high value. Here, Reliance turned positive at once the confirmation of Disney and Reliance Media merger and its details released, and at the same time, JP Morgan increased the Reliance target price. Regarding IT, same JP Morgan increased the Taiwan semiconductor stock target to 850 Taiwanese dollar from 770 Taiwanese dollar. They cited AI boom as a reason, which in turn increased the US Nasdaq future market and it created the short covering in Indian stocks. So all three majors, banks, IT and Reliance Positive made the Nifty to reach almost 22,500 but not yet. The day's high was 22,497. Then moving to US, because of this semiconductor positivity and short covering before the Fed chairman testimony made the market to open positive. And about Fed chairman remark, he said he expect to do the rate cut in the later part of the year. And during question and answer session, he said because of the strength of economy and labor market, they prefer to do the rate cut carefully. As a summary, we cannot say that the Fed chairman's remarks was either dovish or hawkish, but he made one point very clear. At least this is what I am thinking. We can expect the first base case rate cut only in June month policy meeting. As a result of speech, not major, but US market did trimmed some positive gains, but still it all closed above the support line and positive. Dow Jones increased 0.2%, S&P 500 up by 0.51% and Nasdaq increased 0.58%. VIX haven't moved at all, same 14.5. In line with that, GIFT Nifty also increased. Earlier today morning 3 a.m. Indian Standard Time, it closed at 22,655. Equating it with the spot market, we can say it's indicating the gap up opening approximately around 50 points. Regarding Indian ADR, as a top line, both banks and Infosys closed positive, but Wipro closed absolute flat. But if we calculate the 1 month arbitrage, then ICICI Bank, Infosys and Wipro indicating around 0.5% negative. However, HDFC Bank indicating the 0.5% positive. Then Reliance GDR, it also closed more or less flat. About institution, for the second day in a row, both FII and DII was net buyers. FII net bought for 2,750 crore rupees, whereas DII net bought for 2,150 crore rupees. As a summary, US market closed positive of around 0.5%, and in line with that, GIFT Nifty indicating a gap up opening of around 50 points. However, except HDFC Bank, other Indian areas were not reflecting those positive. In addition, yesterday in the aftermarket hours, SEBI mentioned that there are some irregularities in financials funding in IPO, so not sure how this is going to play today among investors. One more thing, as of now, tomorrow, on Friday, our Indian market will be on holiday, and today night another Fed chairman speech, and tomorrow night jobs data should release. So there is a high possibility for either profit booking or short covering, since most investors don't want to carry forward their investment for the next 3 days. Moving on, as per stock open interest, Mahanagar Gas, Motherson, Indraprastha Gas, Ramco Siemens, India Hotels and L&T Finance got an increase in open interest along with a negative close, indicates the short build-up. On the other hand, Sun Pharma, Bajaj Auto, Oracle FinServ, SBI Life Insurance, Wipro, Infosys and HCL got an increase in open interest with a positive price close, indicating the long build-up. Then about the things to look out. Before our market opening, there are lots of Chinese trade related data issued release. Here, that will determine the Asian market momentum and will affect US as well. Then during our market time, first at 11:30 a.m., Germany's factory order data is due, and in the evening, usual US weekly jobs data and very important private non-farm payroll data and US Fed President speech in US Senate. Those are the things we need to keep an eye out today. About oil, US inventories increased roughly just 1.4 million barrels against expectation of 2.4 million barrels increase, which increased the oil price by 1%. At the time of this video, WTI crude trading around $79 per barrel and Brent crude trading around $83 per barrel. Coming to technical, as we discussed, Nifty had a V-shaped recovery and it extended its positive run. Thus, on the daily chart, it formed a long green candle with lower shadow and that with above average volume. In addition, Nifty decisively climbed back above all key moving averages such as 21-day, 10-day one, the upward sloping resistance trend line and the 22,400 mark. That's the first positive. Second, hourly momentum indicator has a fresh positive crossover. Thus, overall, technically, we can expect Nifty to continue with its up move. Looking at all the positivity, as long as Nifty stays above 22,350, there is a more probable and potential scenario for Nifty to reach levels between 22,600 and 22,700 on the higher end. Yesterday's day's low 22,224 will now act as a crucial support. In case of Bank Nifty, it opened 130 points gap down and finally it reclaimed the 48,000 mark resistance. However, in the end, it closed below 48,000, exactly 47,965. At present, Bank Nifty is very close and approaching its all-time high level, only 600 points away. Thus, on the daily chart, similar to Nifty, it also formed a long bullish candlestick with healthy volume. Here, Bank Nifty decisively maintained a downward sloping resistance trend line for the third straight session, which is a positive sign. Hence, the ongoing bullish sentiment is evident, backed by a robust support zone which is 47,500 to 47,400, acting as a defensive line for Bank Nifty. It expects to hit the new all-time high value in the next few sessions with potential targets at 49,000 and 50,000 in the near term. As per the weekly options data, the maximum call option open interest was at 23,000 strike, followed by 22,800 and 22,700 strike, with meaningful new call option writing at 22,800 strike, then 22,700 and 22,600. Whereas on the put side, the maximum open interest was at 22,000 strike, followed by 22,300 and 21,800 strike, with meaningful new put option writing at 22,300 strike, then 22,400. Thus, from options data, it indicates that Nifty may find a resistance at 22,600 to 22,700 on the higher side, with support at 22,400 to 22,300. So that's all in this video. Hope you all got some useful information. Please consider subscribing the channel and liking the video so it will help me beat the YouTube algorithm and also motivate me to do more. Please don't make any investment decision based on this as I'm not a SEBI registered advisor. I'm doing this for me and viewers educational purpose only. Thanks for watching.